Backstage.
Yeah, nigga. Fake ass nigga.
You ain't no Israelite, but you a gospelite, bitch.
Fuck you talking about?
If that nigga won't walk, bitch, we ready. It ain't hard to find us. Hawk, I keep that stick locked, loaded, but he'll fade you line up. Young nigga named the Slayer. What you think? Well, you be done to try. Soft cold shit, we bought it. UPK, shoot solid. Little bitch think I'm crazy, think I'm playing like bitch, I ain't the one. Warfare every day, so who is you, bitch? I don't need your love. Killers right round the way. What you think? I love this brotherhood. Hood. More than you, bitch. Sharp on shit, I'm about it. UPK too solid. Fuck nigga don't want war. It ain't enough clips in your army. All the bitches wanna take my piece. All the hoes wanna take my piece. All the nigga wanna take my piece. No, I can't let a dog take it from me. I can't let a dog take it from me. You a hoe study and you dummy. And these bitches really out this bitch walk around like they don't know nothing. And a lame nigga fall for 'em and get set up for the coins and get gunned down, man down. Shoulda took the time, get a damn no. But I see the sorrow and I show her. She could never get a piece whore. You a dirt ass, rust ass neck bitch with a fake ass jury. In Tennessee while I'm touring. It's a Tennessee, but she luring. Yeah, that sucker duck bitch ass boy, fuck nigga over that bitch muggin'. I say, if that nigga won't walk, bitch, we ready. It ain't hard to find us. Hawk, I keep that stick locked, loaded, but he'll fade you line up. Young nigga named the Slayer. What you think? Well, you be done to try. Soft cold shit, we bout it. UPK too solid. Little bitch think I'm crazy, think I'm playing like bitch, I ain't the one. Warfare every day, so who is you, bitch? I don't need your love. Killers right round the way. What you think? I love this brotherhood. Hood. More than you, bitch. You a lame nigga down to me. Eat candy, but I'm sucker free. You a little nigga, ain't none of me. Base up, boy, I fit a beat. Yeah, AR 223. Draco with a magazine. Yeah, the clip run like limousine. I shoot your ass in the spleen. Boy, I bust your ass in the temple. We debating by the temple. Tell the truth, boy, you's a victim. And you squirm off like a lizard. Nigga walk down my road. Why does nigga come down my road? Boy, come down my road. Boy, I charge your ass toll fee. I'm a real big priest, nigga. UPK play for keys, nigga. Command to get a damn order, but ain't nothing to me to damn kill you. I stuck his ass like a cat. All weapons, boys full of tech. Boy, like a close comeback. They got popped off for a neck. If that nigga won't walk, bitch, we ready. It ain't hard to find us. Hawk, I keep that stick locked, loaded, but he'll fade you line up. Young nigga named the Slayer. What you think? Well, you be done to try. Soft cold shit, we bout it. UPK too solid. Little bitch think I'm crazy, think I'm playing like bitch, I ain't the one. Warfare every day, so who is you, bitch? I don't need your love. Killers right round the way. What you think? I love this brotherhood. Hood. More than you, bitch.
Christ said 7 women gonna be on one nigga in the end time. Nigga, fuck wrong with you, boy. Stressed by that damn hoe ass bitch. Fake ass nigga too. Dumb ass motherfucker. Fuck you.
Backstage.
Yeah, those are messed up, no. Bad news is to beat your home, nigga. Yeah. Go on, get on that ass real quick one time. 144, baby.
Run that shit up, Trey.
They said you get on, you gon' represent. I said, of course. Soon as they trade that beat, I ride that bitch just like a horse. She about to go dumb, yeah, bitch, be whole guard. You ain't know they call me Obi-Wan. I go with the force. You gon' ride, yeah, of course. Get it lit up like a torch. You even low on this Lord, so that bitch is either or. Yeah, I know them niggas ain't cut like that. I swear I'm to our core. Wait up, let me make a call right quick. I'ma start another war. I was hurting when she left, but I don't care about anymore. I need a Vaselina like my Nina Puffer Ford. Took a Zach, watch the dark. Matter of fact, like a dart. Any problem, let them come. We gon' snatch they soul like Shang Tsung. Put them out of service, keep them tools like Miss Harper Free. Try to hope it's way too late. I'm headed straight to the safe. Throw that one up like a trophy. I'm that nigga, ain't no debate. Throw them boys, we taking notes. Call them up like set the date. This shit a piece of cake. Yeah, my bitches came from Whole Foods. Told them put on that top 3. Then bring me my house shoes. Don't make excuses, make moves. These niggas ungrateful, gotta show them UPK rules. I'm making hits like I can't lose. They said you get on, you gon' represent. I said, of course. Soon as they trade that beat, I ride that bitch just like a horse. She about to go dumb, yeah, bitch, the whole guard. You ain't know they call me Obi-Wan. I come with the fart. You gon' ride, yeah, of course. Get it lit up like a torch. You even low on this Lord, so that bitch is either or. Yeah, I know them niggas ain't cut like that. I swear I'm to our core. Yeah, I just got off the call. I'ma start another war. Spit a plate up with my nigga. niggas bad, got them tied down and out there. Can't do with them steppers, niggas been down since day one. We run up the bands, bitch, like Dylan. They say you get on, you gon' represent, I said of course. Soon as they pray that beat, I read that bitch is like a horse. Yeah, about to go dumb, yeah, bitch, we hold guard. Yeah, know they call me Obi-Wan, I come with the force. You gon' ride, yeah, of course, get it lit up like a torch. You either low or this low, told that bitch is either or. I told you niggas, you ain't cut like that, I swear I'm to our car. And I just made it call, we gon' start another war. Yeah.
All right, let's clap it up. All right, it's Shalom, Yahweh, Shem Yahushua, Brakathum, and all the brothers. Shalom, Yahweh, Shem Yahushua, Brakathum, and all the brothers. Shalom, Yahweh, Shemar Latham, Shem Yahushua, all the sisters. It's Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Start out at 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General Yahana. It's the Friday night Lashawan Qadash class. Like it, bear with me one time. Bear with me. Like, we're going to get right into it here in a second, all right? Just bear with me for about a couple minutes, all right?
You boy. You know what time it is, nigga.
Better watch how you step in. Yeah. With that with my niggas.
Got my nigga Rawan with me.
With that with my niggas, it'll be an honor.
You know what I'm saying?
Under commanding General Yahana. Straight off the top, I love all of my niggas. That shit ain't gon' stop till we on top and we ballin' my nigga. We be fly as fuck, you know them bitches be stalking my niggas. That shit'll never change and it's the same with all my niggas. City to city, I should be at home. That's what my ribs say. But bitch, I'm grown. I'm in these streets and closed caption. Niggas know we bout that action. If a nigga play with me, then my I can gon' let him have it. Hey, think you the shit, this truth the shit. Nigga play, I let that Ruger hit. Get on them tracks, they be like, who is this? I'm rude with it. Ain't got no manners. All them pussy niggas talking shit. Yeah, I know they can't stand us, but we UPK Louisiana, bitch, that's what I'm ripping. And my niggas solid number, real ones in my section. If you wanna get down, put your boots on, start stepping. Brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood I lay my life down right now for all my sisters and brothers, because I love them. I see them dapping and hug them. It's amazing to see how well we adapt from the struggle. Born again from a life of sin, trapped in the gutter. My mind frame was to kill my own kind. Feeling inferior, waking up ready to die. Run with them killers, so it's just a matter of time. For I take your life or let you take mine. That's when I realized the slaves killing slaves while the white man live to get old. We in them graves, and shit got me feeling played. I opened the Bible, went through them records, found out we was royalty, a nation to be respected. But in this world we rejected, we hated for our complexion. Still fighting to get accepted. We hear the truth and reject it, but love is getting corrected. And all my niggas correct me. The commandments, the foundation we erected. Brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. Hey, hey. Hey, hey.
All right, let's clap it up one more time. Thank you for that. Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. You know what I mean? Shalom Yahweh Shemi Al Shabrak Thumb to all the brothers. Shalom Yahweh Shemar Thumb by Shemi Al Shad all the sisters. You know what I mean? Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Start out at 125th Street, Harlem, New York. And the Commanding General Yohana. I mean, it's the Friday night Lashawan Qadash class. All right. Friday night Lashawan Qadash class, where we teach the Bible from a linguistic perspective. You know what I mean? As we usually do. Tonight, we're going to get into Leviticus 23. All right. And, like, 1 second, as I share my screen. So, Lockie, bear with me 1 second. All right, we're going to get into Leviticus 23. And we're going to start at verse 1. All right, for a couple reasons, right? So we just did the, you know what I mean? We just left the Lord's 55th annual Passover down in Durham, North Carolina. Let's get out of hand. You know what I mean? All right, we just left the 55th annual Passover. We you know what I mean, which was glorious. You know what I'm saying? Most High in Christ, able to see all the brothers. You know what I mean, all the brothers down in North Carolina from all these different zones. It's glorious as usual. You know what I mean? We had a glorious Sabbath service, or we had a glorious Passover service where the brothers, you know what I mean, the brothers, mighty captains and mighty officers, was reading that the Lashawan Qadash. As we all know, you know what I mean, we in the middle of the Feast of Unleavened Bread. Now, usually for Sabbath, or it's like it, for Passovers, for high holy days, things like that, we'll do you know what I mean, high holy days such as the Passover, Feast of Unleavened Bread, things like that. We'll do a Sabbath service, or we'll do a service where we'll read Leviticus 23 in the Lashawan Qadash from top to bottom, and then read it in Hebrew, just like we do during Sabbath service every Saturday. All right. So, and then also we're gonna be closing the Feast of Unleavened Bread this Sunday coming up. All right. So, of course, you know what I mean. Of course, this is a scripture, or this is obviously a chapter that we should all be familiar with. I mean, reading this Lashawan Qadash. All right. And once you get familiar with the Lashawan, once you get familiar with Leviticus 23, reading it in the Lashawan Qadash, then that's going to give you the confidence and make you comfortable with reading the Lashawan Qadash during Sabbath services every week. You know what I mean? Participating in the Lashawan Qadash class every Friday, things like that. You know what I mean? Because it looks intimidating because you're reading this whole chapter. You know what I mean? During Sabbath service, depending on the you know what I mean, depending on the climate of the class, depending on where we're reading that, you might get through maybe a couple verses, maybe like 14 to 21 verses tops, right, during Sabbath service, because you only got so much time to do it. And also, you know what I mean, you got brothers breaking down things in between. So you might get through only so many verses, but the Sabbath service, we might go over the time, go over 2 hours, because with, you know, we got to read this whole chapter. So it can be intimidating for brothers. But once you actually hone in and get familiar with this Lashawan Qadash and get familiar with the Leviticus 23, then it's going to not only make you comfortable with reading the Lashawan Qadash, because it's so extensive, but it's also going, you know what I mean, you're going to be able to pull a lot of these root words and a lot of these concepts that we've been learning over these past couple months. All All right. So, you know what I mean? This is gonna prepare you for Sabbath service. This is gonna prepare you for any high holy day where we do this, where we read Leviticus 23, and it's gonna prepare you for this Sunday coming up. Especially for you priests who are gonna be reading. If you a sister or you not authorized to teach yet, then you could just listen out and hear, or listen out for the things that you hear tonight, so that when you hear them during Lashawan, or it's like not Lashawan Qadash, during Saturday service, then it's not going to, you know what I mean, you'll be able to follow along. All right. So with that, make sure you got Bible Hub out. Make sure you got Bible Hub open. We're going to be reading from Bible Hub. Let me see if I can lock you. Forgive me, I'm trying to get reacclimated to this StreamYard. And no sweat. Let me just share my screen like that. No sweat. All right. But you ain't going to be able to see me on the screen, but you will be able to hear me, so it should be Tawab. All right, so you'll see on the screen I got Leviticus 23 and chapter 1, or chapter 23 and verse 1 on the screen. All right. Now I'm going to read through the first one, read through the first verse, just to show you, you know what I mean, just to show you how we read through it. And then I'm going to go through the next couple, and we're going to break it down line by line as we usually do. All right. This is, before I start, Salakia, I mean, also, I did want to touch on, because brothers was, you know what I mean, we was traveling for the Lord's Passover. A lot of brothers, you might have noticed, a lot of brothers in Killeen was you know what I mean, you might have seen a lot of reruns. All right, last week on Friday we played a rerun of Lashawan Qadash class. The title was, I believe it was Identifying the Assyrian Characters. That's an important class, and if you wasn't able to catch it, I recommend you go back and watch it, because as we've been saying for the past couple months, these characters, it's a lot different from reading it in the ancient Hebrew, where you got the pictographs. The pictographs are usually pretty straightforward with the ancient, as you can see on that on the board up there, but they pretty straightforward. And it's only one character per what's the word? Per sound, for lack of better description. But it's only one character per letter. Whereas the Assyrian, not only is there's 5 characters that have more than one pictograph associated with it, but each character, if you're not familiar with it, they can kind of start to look the same, and you can kind of start to confuse your characters. So if you haven't been able to look at that, I recommend going back and watching that. All right, and that's gonna make reading this Lashawan Qadash 10 times easier. All right, but all right, so we're gonna get into this Leviticus chapter 23 and verse 1. All right, in the Hebrew, Wayad Dabar Yahweh al Mashah La Amar. All right, now let's let me share my screen. Now that now if you're reading along on Bible Hub, this phrase, these characters rather, this phrase should be very familiar for a couple reasons. You're going to, not only is it right here in Leviticus chapter 23 and verse 1, but as you read down in Leviticus chapter 23, you're going to see this phrase over and over and over again. All right, because the Most High has given Moses instructions. All right, and then you're gonna see it about 2 or 3 more times in this chapter, and then you're also gonna see it in Exodus and Deuteronomy, and you know what I mean, Leviticus, I believe, as well. Leviticus, Exodus, Deuteronomy, where the Most High is given instructions, right, on how to run the how to run the nation, how to build the tabernacle, how to, you know what I mean, how to organize our ranks, things like that. The Most High is given instructions on several occasions. So you'll see this phrase, Wayadabar Yahweh al Mashah La Amar. All right, so that's going to be one of the first things that you get familiar with and get comfortable with. All right. Let's see. So break it down line by line. So Waya Dabar, right? So just like we would do at just like we've been doing at every Lashawan Qadash class, just like you would do in you know what I mean, in any occasion, we're gonna break it down line by line. And in this phrase right here, Wayad Dabar, you either the easiest thing to do, as we always do, is to separate the root word from the phrase, right? So if you're not familiar with it's harder to tell what's the preposition or the possessive, you can just go straight to the root word. Either way is fine. Either way, as long as you know what I mean, able to separate them and be able to break it down and figure out why these characters are there, what role they play in the phrase. All right. So let's see. 1 second. All right. So Wayadabar Yahweh al Mashah La Amar. Right. As a matter of fact, let's read it in the English, right? And then after we read it in the English, if you want to give it a shot, and anybody online, if you're watching online, if you want to give it a shot to break down that first phrase, we're going to get right into it. We go to Leviticus chapter 23, starting at verse 1. All right, in the English, it's, "And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying," all right? Now, this is what I was talking about earlier. You're going to see this phrase over and over and over, all right? So that's what we just read in the Lashawan Qadash that you see on the screen. But you're going to see this phrase over and over and over and over again. "And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying." So anytime you see that, you're going to see Wayadabar Yahweh al Mashah La Amar. That's what that phrase means. All right, we're going to break it down line by line. Okay, no. All right. Anybody online, y'all more than welcome to chime in and give it a shot. Break down that first line. Brother, you want to give it a shot? You got your phone on you? Okay, no sweat. You familiar with the characters?
Yep.
Okay,
yeah,
most of
what I was just going to ask, like, such as breaking down the basic why,
okay.
Why y'all and duck, such as identifying no characteristics.
Say that again.
Such as identifying. I know I got it.
Okay, that's it. All right, but whenever you're ready, you can go ahead and just break down that first line using those four steps right there. Let me move that board. You already know. You know how to do it. All right, so check online, see if you got anything online. And when you're ready to roll, don't forget to grab that mic too.
Or the preposition, the root word, such as war would be the preposition,
Uh-huh.
and the root word would be
You know what the root word is?
war.
The root word. So the Y is the preposition.
Oh, yeah. So the root word would be
You remember how to find it, right?
by clicking on the numbers at the top.
Come.
Oh, it'll be the bar
Come. And the bar means what?
to speak.
Come. Damn right. Give yourself a hand. Now, it is one part that we missing, though, right? So you got the Y in the beginning, right? That means, like, let me go back. You got the Y in the beginning. That means, what? It means, what does that Y mean?
And
Right? So that Y means and. Now, and then you got the bar meaning to speak. So what is this? We're missing that one character in between. First of all, what is that character? Let's start there.
talking about the small character.
The con. That's what that character is. And what does it mean? The Yah?
I mean, he, his.
Right. So you put it together, and you put it together. Those two prepositions in the root word, put it together, and what is it saying in English? Direct translation.
He has spoken.
Well, start. What's the first preposition mean? In that phrase that you just read. or you said it earlier too.
Speak.
No, the preposition, that first character.
Oh, all right. What was his name?
Right. And then the second preposition is
Yeah, which is P.
Right. And then the root word.
To speak.
Right. So put all of those together in a sentence. How would you say that in a phrase?
And he spoke.
Right. Simple as that. Give yourself a hand. And all these phrases are gonna be that simple, right? So Waya Dabar, and he spoke, right? That's how you form sentences. That's how you form phrases. All right. The next one, Yahweh. We know Yahweh is the Most High's name, right? We should be real familiar with that. Then all, next one, let me highlight this so you can see it. Next one, all means two. Ah and la together means two. All. Or it's like in this context, rather. Ah and la together means two. All. Then ma, sha, and ha is Masha or Moses. It's Moses' name. Right. And then La, Amor. Right. Amor is the root word, which is highlighted on the screen. Amor is the root word meaning to say, or meaning say. And La is a preposition meaning to. All right. So to say. Wayat Dabar, Yahweh al Mashah la Amar means, and the Most High spake to Moses. Right. Rough translation. Direct translation, Wayat Dabar, and he spoke. And then it's going to give the subject of who's speaking, Yahweh, which is the Most High, to all, meaning to, Mashah. So the Most High is speaking to Moses, and to say. La Amar means to say. So the Most High is speaking to Moses to tell him something. Right? That's the whole context. All right. Now, verse 2. Let's see anybody online? You're gonna read the first let's try this. You're gonna give it a shot reading the first four phrases. You know, during Sabbath service, we're gonna have to do 7 verses and then switch to the English and read the English. All right, so this is just practice for when that time comes, when you Lord willing, you get your name and you get authorized to teach. You'll come up here and you'll be able to read the Lashawan Qadash as a trooper, I believe, as an officer. But once you become an officer, you'll be able to come up here and read the Hebrew. But this is just light practice for that. All right. So you go ahead and read it as if you was reading during the Sabbath service. Let's see where you at with it. Then before I let you go, this just for everybody online, as you're reading, you're going to be combining all of these concepts that you learned in Lashawan Qadash class. Identifying your prepositions, your possessives, your root word, and identifying all your characters, being able to distinguish one from the other. You're going to be combining all of those to be able to read the Lashawan Qadash. All right. Well, you go ahead, young man.
Ba, da, al, na, ba, al, ra.
It's like you in Leviticus chapter 23, verse 2. All right, Slacky, start from the top again.
Ba, Da, all.
I think you're reading it. Looks like you're reading it backwards. So instead of reading right to left, you're reading left to right. Am I tripping? And then you're reading the characters individually as well.
Okay. Okay.
All right, let's start with the first one. Read the first one for me.
It'll be Ba,
The first character.
the BER. Wouldn't it be the first one? Right to left.
Okay, let me see what you
Okay, I see what I'm doing. I see what
Okay,
I'm
no
doing.
sweat.
I see what I'm doing. All right. The Ba,
close.
first one.
Close. Now, okay, what's the first character?
Da, or Da,
Right. And then what's the second character?
Ba,
And then what's the last character?
Ra.
Right. Okay. So you mind handing me that board real quick and a marker? The water. All right, what is that? What does that give you? You put all of that together. What does that give you?
Right.
I see what you're doing. And I'm gonna explain right here. All right. And okay, give yourself a hand. Excellent shot, man. Now, when you read in the Lashawan Qadash, usually, in most cases, not every case, but most cases, when you read in the Lashawan Qadash, it's going most root words consist of 3 characters, right? This the word that we reading right now. So this is the English, basically the English way to sound it out, right? So Da, Ba, and Ra. This is the name of each character, right? So you got Da over here, Ba right here, and then Ra right here. All right. Now, typically, when you pronounce these characters, you always want to remember this. When you put them together, this character right here will say its name. The first character will say its name, and then the last 2, you'll connect the sounds. And the way you connect the sound is by dropping this ah sound on the last character. That's how in a root word, that's how you pronounce that's how you would pronounce the root word, by dropping that last character and dropping that last ah sound and connecting it. Right? And I'm gonna show you what I mean. You click on that concordance code, and it's gonna show you exactly what I'm talking about. Now it sounds like you said Daba Ra, right? Right? Okay, click the concordance code. And then what's it saying? The bar, right? So what they did was once they got to that last character, that last ah sound drops off. So instead of Daba Ra, you're left with the bar. That makes sense? We're gonna see a couple examples of that, but moving forward, when you're reading a root word, that's how you will read it. So you identify the characters, Da, Ba, Ra, put it together, Da, Bar. All right. And then the next one, let me share my screen again. And it's gonna do the same thing too. It's gonna do the same thing in this. Even though it's two characters, it's gonna do the same exact thing. And what's the? I think you read it correctly. The second one. Oh, you go ahead. Oh, right. So instead of saying Allah, right, which is a whole nother word, you connect it, and it's all. All right. So excellent job on that one. And then the next one. La'a. And I see why you said that, because that's the Yiddish pronunciation, and that's the pronunciation that they got on Bible Hub. But you'll click on that concordance code. Oh wait, okay, I see. Okay, but instead of, you said bin with an eh, remember the Lashawan Qadash doesn't have any vowels. So each character is ah, ba, ga, da. So replace eh with that ah sound. And then what do you get? What you got?
Ba.
Put it together, the root word.
Ba.
Bond. Right. So if you ever hear brothers give their pedigree during Sabbath service, they'll say, for example, I would say Kal Kazah, Bon Yahawada, Bon Yasharala. I mean, Bon means son or son of, right? So Kal Kazah, Bon, son of Yahawada, son of Judah, Bon Yasharala, son of Israel. All right. So we got the root word on that one, right? So the root word is Bon, meaning son, and that leaves possessive at the end, right? And what's that? What's that ya mean at the end?
He or his.
At the end. It means he or his at the beginning. Right there at the top.
Mine.
Right. So the Most High is telling Moses, Dabar al-Banya, right? Dabar means what? We just read it in the first verse.
To speak.
Right? To speak. So he's telling Moses to speak. Al means what? We just read it in the first verse as well. And it should be right there in front of you. Yeah, all in this context.
To say.
You looking at Bible Hub?
Yeah, I'm trying to look at my notes that I'm jotting down.
Okay, no sweat. Right up underneath it in Bible Hub, it'll give you the English translation.
Which is two.
Con. So the bar al means speak to. So the Most High is telling Moses to speak to somebody. All right. Banya. So ban is the root word, right? We just established that means what?
Son.
Right. And then that ya at the end means what?
Me. Oh, my.
My. So the Most High is telling Moses, speak to my sons. That's what that means right there. Dabar al Banya means speak to my sons, right? And that right there should tell you that, you know what I mean, sidebar, that should tell you right there that the Most High don't love everybody. You know what I mean, despite what your Christian church wants you to believe or try to you know what I mean, push to try to, you know what I mean, try to capitalize off your pockets. You know what I mean? The Most High does not love everybody. And he's saying, you know what I mean, and everybody is not the Most High sons, like your Christian church would like you to believe. He's saying my son. And let's see who the Most High sons is. You wanna give get the next one a shot? You want me to break it down?
I'll give it a shot.
All right, no problem.
So it'll be the second verse.
The word, I don't know if you can see it on the TV, or what I got highlighted, the fourth phrase right there.
Okay. All around. All around.
You still reading it from left to right? It looks like. It looks like, I could be wrong. All right, let's do it like this. What's the first character?
Below.
La. Right to left. Oh, I see. Because I'm doing this. Yeah. All right, so from you would start on this side and read that word. So that first character is
Orion.
Just the first character.
No.
Okay. You see what I'm highlighting on the screen? This character right there, that's gonna be your first character. You're gonna be reading from this end to this end.
So I'm reading it right. I must be just pronouncing it wrong, but this is exactly how I'm reading.
Got you. Okay, no problem. You're saying this character right here is a la?
Yeah, la.
Okay, la. Check out well, la means no. Okay. Just check out that that board up top. It got all the characters laid out with the pronunciation of them.
See, that's why I'm getting confused. I'm trying to read it based on what the word got on top instead of looking at the character.
Yeah, that's what you don't want to do.
Yeah, see, that's why I'm thinking. Yeah. I got the character right in front of me, but I'm reading it based on what the words instead of the Hebrew. That's what's throwing me out.
Yeah, I would if you. It could be helpful sometimes, but you got to be very careful. Like what I would recommend is for you to just completely ignore that top row. Just completely ignore it because it's gonna give you the Yiddish translation. Like you see in the at the top, it says you got I's and you got E's and Y's and all of that, all up in there. You got all those vowels. Now we just read in the in that book down there. As a matter of fact, is that bag? Go in that black backpack, if you don't mind, and grab that. It should be a black and white textbook. And then go to page 3. I think the page numbers is right at the top. I think that was it. Oh, that's the contents. You might have to flip through the index to get to page 3. And that's gonna be the blueprint of how you know that that's gonna be the blueprint of how to read the Lashawan Qadash, and that's also gonna let you know that your these Jewish synagogues ain't got a damn clue of what they talking about with the Hebrew, and that's gonna be very important. You want to bury that in your chest. Go ahead, read it in the mic. At the top, that top paragraph. Let me see. See what you're looking at. This right here.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, it's that first paragraph.
The Hebrew alphabet is the oldest in the world, still in use today.
Right. So the Hebrew alphabet, what we're learning right now is the oldest language, the oldest alphabet still in use today. When they say still in use today, they're talking about these Jewish synagogues because they still use it today. Right. But this is what they did to it while they're using it today. Go ahead, read on.
Our own alphabet is a descendant of it by a criticized root.
From a circuitous root. Meaning, let's see what that word means. Sir. So circuitous means having a circular or winding course, not being forthright or direct in the language or action. So over a course of time, right? Just like a language develops, the alphabet that they use today is read that again. It's a descendant of it, I believe the word that they use, right?
Our own alphabet is a descendant
of
it by circuitous root.
By circuitous root. So over time, they the alphabet that they use is a descendant of the original Hebrew. Over time, as the language developed, they developed an alphabet and a way to pronounce it. Go ahead, read on.
The text of the Hebrew Bible we use today reflects several periods of development.
That's what I just described. Go ahead.
Originally, only the consonants were used.
Originally, this is what you want to understand. Originally, only the consonants was used. All right. So, like you was reading the blue in Bible Hub, in that phrase that word we're trying to break down, they got all sorts of vowels like I's and A's and E's, and they got all types of vowels in it. That shows you that their language and their way of speaking this Lashawan, this Hebrew, is not the correct way to speak it, because they themselves said that the original alphabet didn't have any vowels, but they added vowels, and it's going to tell you how they did it in a little bit. Go ahead, read on.
By the time of the Israelite kingdoms, some consonants were used to indicate certain vowels. A, I, or E, O, or U.
So when you're reading in that book, it should have like little dashes and dots, and it should say something about they call those the gesh, those little dashes and dots. Now, if you go back to Bible Hub, I wish I could zoom in on this and show you exactly what I'm talking about. Let me see. Let's see if I can zoom. But you look at the phrase, and underneath each character, you see like under that in that phrase we're trying to break down, it's got each character got dots. The first one got one dot, the second one got two dots, and then the third one got a dot with a line. That's how they added vowels into our language, by adding those. But originally, the language didn't have those, like you just read in that book right there. But yeah, so long story short, that blue up top, that pseudo pronunciation is garbage. And you just want to avoid looking at that, because and they'll tell you, like you just read, that's not our book. We didn't write that. They wrote that. Their so-called Hebrew scholars wrote that. That's a book published by, I believe, Yale scholars, Edomites. They wrote that. And they're telling you that the way that they speak the Hebrew is wrong. But all right, let's get back to that blue letter Bible. You go ahead, put that on a shelf if you want to, warrior. Then when you're ready, you can go ahead and get at another shot. I'm gonna share the screen again.
Yasha Ka.
Not quite. That third one, not quite.
Yashawa.
I see why you're doing it. That's not correct either, but let me move this out the way so I can see you. That's not correct either, but I see why you thought that. Why you thought that was a ka at first, and then you thought it was a wa. And that's what I was going through in that, or that's what I was going over in that last class, that rerun I played. I was talking about in the beginning of class. Some of these characters, all right. As a matter of fact, let me do this for you. Some of these characters look a lot alike. So what you want to do is go character by character. And I promise you, it might be tedious at first, like learning anything. Learning anything is tedious at first. But as you go through the little tedious motions, once you learn the little fundamentals, the little tedious motions, then the rest of it and compounding your understanding is going to come natural, and it's going to be easy because you mastered the tiny things. So first you said ka, right? And then you said wa. And then you'll give it another shot. And then I'm gonna show you something.
Wow.
No, you already said wa.
Would it be nah?
Nah, la. It won't be nah. But all right, look, this is what I'm gonna do for you. Nah, let me see. Let me remember. All right. All of those was good guesses. I'm gonna show you why. All right. So that's a rock that you're looking at. And that is the most, them characters that you went through, that's the one that you want to get the most familiar with. Because, let me see. So as you was guessing, I was writing down each of those characters that you were saying. And all of these are different characters, but they look similar. All right. So what you want to do is go through each of those characters, especially the ones that you notice look like other characters, like these four, for example, and find the small little details that make them different, so that once you see them again or you see them side by side, you can recognize them. All right. So the first thing you guessed was a ka, right? Now this is what the ka looks like in the Assyrian if it comes at the end of a word, right? And this is one of the, and I'll go more in depth. I think next class I'm gonna go down to the board and do the class that we aired last week, and do it live on the board so we can go more in depth and get specific questions answered. But this is one of the 5 characters that when you see it at the end of a word, it changes the way it looks. Like I don't know if you see. As a matter of fact, let me turn the screen real quick. Go to the board right quick. Now, if you're watching at home, it might be a little bit of a glare, but what you want to recognize is there's one, like you see these characters, they have one, these characters, they have one pictograph with each character, right? And then you get here, and this, it has two. And you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 characters that do that. Mm-hmm. So that's something that you want to take note of and study so that you know these 5 characters, and so that you're able to make a distinction of which characters these are and how they're used, and so that you can be able to identify when they show up. All right. Now, this is what a cow looks like when it comes in the beginning or the middle of a word. But when it comes at the very tail end of a word, it'll look like this, right? And that's the cow that I got written on that board over there. Now, I think the second one, let me see.
The top one with the look kind of like a C, a backward C, that'll be in the beginning, right?
The beginning, or if you see it just like in the middle of a word. So I'm gonna go ahead and erase this, and I'm gonna show you exactly what I mean. Right, there we go. All right. But this detail right here, again, it might be tedious at first, but once you put in the work and put in the effort, because this is our language. So, you know what I mean? It might be tedious at first, but just remember, you know what I mean? This belongs to us. So we got to put in whatever effort, whatever time that we got to put into it to learn this so that we can take our language back. Otherwise, you know what I mean, what we doing here? Right. We talking about Babylon is falling, and you know what I mean, your oppressors, the devil the Bible speaks of. But if we don't put in the work that we got to put in, select, let me grab this pen real quick. But if we don't put in this work to learn this language and take it back from our oppressor, then we're gonna be just like the Israelites after the Exodus, where we left Egypt. We the Most High destroyed Pharaoh, but then we was in the wilderness talking about, oh, I wish the Most High would have let us die in Egypt, because the whole time we talking about Babylon is falling, but if we look at this and say it's too hard or too tedious, that's the same thing. That's the same spirit. That's the same spirit they had in the wilderness. We can't have that spirit. Because this Babylon show is falling. But, how would that look? We talking about we should be in rulership, but then once we in rulership, we can't survive without our oppressor. We still speaking our oppressor's language. We still depending on our oppressor to provide light and food and water. You know what I mean? So this is a big part of that. So we can get that, so we get that kind of spirit off of us. But it starts right here. These things, I know these things might seem small and insignificant, but this means everything. So, all right. So we got, all right, so the cow, right? We just went over that. Cow, right? And then the next one you guessed was wow, right? Mm-hmm. And then I think you said the third one was nah, right? Now, why'd you say nah?
Cause like the last class you did with what's the name? I was in the, but the pen I had was kind of a thick pen, so when I wrote it, instead of making it like curved, it still looked like instead of it looking straight, instead of it looking now with the curve, like a curved seven, it still looked like a straight one, such as Ka. Yeah, such as Ka. Still like instead of the indentation, kind of still looking straight.
Gotcha. Okay, so the nah, and it's important. I'm glad you brought that up, but it's important because but it's important because that's another one of those characters that look like you said, and I'm glad you said 7, because a lot of these characters, if you look at them, they look like a 7, but they just look like a different penmanship or a different way to write it. All right. So you got the ka here that comes at the end of a word. That's how it's gonna look. And then you got the wa. It looks like a narrow 7 with a short tail. Then you got the na. This is how the na would look at the end of a word right here. So this is how the na would look normally, and then this is how the na would look at the end. All right. So for example, in this word, damn pen going out. No sweat. All right, so this is what the na would look like at the beginning. Na, and then, for example, in this word, Nathan, this is always a good example. Na, ta, and then when you get to the end, this is what the na looks like. Now, both of these are the same character. This is a na, and this is a na. Nathan. Nathan means to give. All right, but because this na comes at the beginning, it looks like this. This is how we look at the end. That's when you get that kind of that narrow 7 with that curve at the end. Now, the word that we were actually looking for, the character that we was actually looking for, was a rock. All right. Now, all of these look similar. This is a ka. This is a wa. This is a na. And this is a ra. Now, what you want to do, and we're going to do this next week as well, we're going to go into each one of these characters that kind of look similar, and we're going to identify what makes them different so that we can identify them off site. Now, let me see how I can ask this. Now, what's the difference between this ka right here and this wa?
It's at an angle.
The wa?
You said the Y and the ka.
Yeah, the wa and the ka.
Instead of it being a straight line, it's it's at an angle basically.
Right. So this part right here is at an angle, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then what else?
It's not as long, neither as short.
Right. And then what else? Or this part isn't as long as shorter. Right. And then what else about it? This part as well is short. So imagine like if you was writing on a piece of notebook paper, this would be the line that you're writing on. There we go. That marker won't wake up. But that's how I look if you was writing on a piece of paper. Now this stops at the line, quote unquote. This Ka extends past the line. So point is, you just want to take each one of these characters, not each one, because some of them is just straightforward. Like the I, pretty straightforward. Has a unique shape. I mean, a couple of them you can pick out, and it's pretty straightforward. But a couple of these, it's real difficult to be able to identify, especially if you got an iPhone or Android.
iPhone.
Okay, if you look on your the way it looks on your iPhone is slightly different the way it looks on my Android, because I got an Android. But especially and then it looks different than what's on a laptop. I think what's on a laptop looks like the iPhone. So depending on, and then if you look at a different book, like if you read in the Lashawan Qadash out of that Hebrew textbook you just read, it might look different than if you open that Tanakh we got up there. It might look slightly different as well. So depending on the different books you use and the different apps you're using or the different devices you're using, the font's gonna look slightly different. So these are all just reasons why it's important to make those distinctions, especially early on, so that when you get up there, because you're gonna be reading in the Syrian, so when you get up there, it's not so mysterious. But yeah. So long story short, all of these characters are different, but they look slightly similar. All right. Now this is all right. So we're gonna go back to Bible Hub real quick. Lock it. Let me share my screen again. All right, so we're gonna read this last character. We're gonna read this last phrase or this last word rather. We probably gonna wrap up after that. All right, so you wanna start it from the top and just identify each character.
Same word, right?
Yeah, same word. That fourth, I believe, the fourth word. That first character is
Yasha.
right.
Ra.
Right.
Yasha Ra.
And then the last one is what?
No.
La'a.
La.
No, La'a means no. Salakia. La'a means no. But oh, you want to give it another shot before I give it to you?
Yasha Ra La.
Khan. That last one is a la. All right, now let's see. All right, each one of those characters was correct, right? Now click on that concordance code and tell me what that word means. And this is gonna be a word that you're gonna get real familiar with as well. Oh, okay, they got the Yiddish up here. Okay, okay, let me just give it to you because they got the Yiddish up here. They lying to you. All right. So this word is Yasharala or Israel. right? When you read it in the English, it'll say Israel, and it says it right here underneath Israel, right? Now that breakdown that they gave was an obvious lie because A, it's right there. B, it's right there in the English. When you read it in the Bible, it says Israel, but their translation it says Yisrael. Concept.
I'm just about to say that might be what Israel means.
Yeah. This is bogus right here. Long story short.
I'm sure I'll say Israel.
Yeah, that's wild. I ain't even gonna lie. I ain't even peeped that that's how they. But it's Israel, our nation. The name of our nation, the name of our forefather, is Israel. Yasher Allah in the Hebrew. And their breakdown was crazy as well. Right? Let's see. Let's see. Go to Genesis. You got you go to Genesis chapter 32 and verse 28, Baba Kasha. All right, now while you get in that, I'm gonna click on this concordance code. And this is why it's important to be in the ISUPK and learn your culture from here. Because you go to anywhere else, you go to these Jewish synagogues and try to learn Hebrew or Yiddish from them, you're going to learn wrong. You go to the Christian church, you're going to learn a lie. You know what I mean? And even, you know what I mean, you try to be an individualite and try to learn on your own, you're going to learn lies. And I'm going to show you that because you look at this breakdown on Bible Hub, which I got on the screen. It's going to say the proper translation is Yisrael. That's a lie. And it says the definition is God strives. And it's going to say the origin is from Sarah and El. That's a lie. I'm about to show you how that's a lie, and we're going to break it down correctly. But if you're a fake Israelite or you're an individual, you're a vagabond Jew, you know what I mean? You're a lone Israelite. You're gonna try to do some research and try to do some reading. What they say, I'll just study by myself. I'll just read get the truth by myself. I ain't gotta learn from no men. This is why you gotta learn from brothers, you know what I mean, who have studied, who have asked the questions that you have. Go ahead and read that verse you got. 32 and 28. I'm gonna leave this up here so that you can see that what's in the Bible does not line up with what's on this what's on this document, or with what's on this you know what I mean?
And it kind of just
source.
contradicts itself. Because in the definition it says another name for Jacob and his descendants, but then down there it says the origin of Sarah and El.
Right.
Are they trying to say, you know what I'm saying? Jacob came with the origin was from Sarah, and what was Jacob's father's name? Isaac.
Right.
You know what they trying to say?
Well, it looks like I think El is a bastardized version of Allah, like or like power. I think that's what El is, if I'm not mistaken.
Elohim.
Right. But it has nothing to do with Sarah. The name has nothing to do with Sarah. And then also before you read that, it says in the over here it says Israel in every translation, regardless if you read one of these bastardized translations. You see the King James version right here. It says, and it's going to be in the verse that we're reading, chapter 32, verse 28. But Israel. So where the hell they get Yisrael is beyond me. But that's why you got to beware of who you learn it from and where you know what I mean? That's why the ISUPK is the home of the truth and the only home of the truth. And we stand on that. We don't associate ourselves with no fake Israelite group or no other organization because of this right here. So like, go ahead, read on.
Book of Genesis, chapter 32, verse 28. And he said, thy name shall be called no more Jacob.
So just to give a little context, Jacob wrestled with an angel, right? He wrestled with him all night for a blessing, right? And the angel is speaking to Jacob. Go ahead, read on.
But Israel.
But what?
But Israel.
Nah, Yisrael with a Y.
But Israel.
No, it says Israel right here. That's what we're reading right now. your name will be Israel or Yashar Allah. You go to the Hebrew, like we doing now, it's going to say these exact same characters, Yah, Shah, Ra, Ah, and La. Put it together, Yashar Allah. That's the name that Jacob was given. Your name will be no more Jacob, but Israel. His name was Yaquab, but in the Hebrew. But your name will no longer be Yaquab, but Yashar Allah. Much like when you get a name, when you get raised, or when you get a name, you know what I mean, you shared yourself for the world, it'll say your name will no longer be whatever your name was in the world, but it'll now be such and such. That's exactly what's happening right now. But Israel. So Jacob is getting his name changed to Israel. Go ahead, read on.
For as a prince.
For as a what?
For as a prince.
For as a what?
For as a prince.
I want you to remember that. For as a prince. Go ahead, read on.
Has thou power with God.
Has thou power with God. Yasharallah does not mean, it does not mean, it doesn't mean what it says right here. It ain't got nothing to do with Sarah and El. Yasharallah means prince of the power. Just like we just read here. As a prince hast thou power with God. Now, let me share my screen now. Now, here's the breakdown of this word, right? Now, Yah is a preposition. Meaning what?
Yeah.
Yah means what as a preposition?
He.
Right. So he. Shar is a root word that means prince. Right. And Allah, not to be mistaken with all, which means two, like we've been reading all night, but Allah means power. So you put it together, Yah, Shar, Allah, he is a prince of the power. That's the breakdown. That's how this name was formed. That's what Israel means. That's what Jacob's name was changed to. And it says right here, as a prince hast thou power with God, right? And that's what we are. Prince just means son. You're a son of a ruler, right? The Most High is the ruler of you know what I mean, all nations, he's a ruler, right? He's the creator of all things, right? And we're who Jacob is we're who the Most High chose to be his sons, right? So the Most High is the Most High power. He's the Most High ruler, and we're sons of the power, which makes us princes. So that's how this name. That's the breakdown of the name. Yashar Allah, Prince of the Power, or he is a Prince of the Power. But that's also how you know that this is garbage right here. You know what I mean? And if you're not in the home of the truth, man, you're gonna be learning. You're gonna be learning these lies. You're gonna be walking around Israelite with tassels around your t-shirt and all of that, looking goofy. You know what I mean? Trying to lock your hair. You're gonna be lost out here. Long story short, man. But we'll go ahead and wrap it right there. Next week we're gonna kind of expound on what we just went over with the characters. Try to make some of these distinctions so that as we're reading, we can spend less time, because we're gonna see in Sabbath service tomorrow. As brothers is reading, they just you gotta go phrase by phrase. You know what I mean? You're not gonna have time to be able to just go character by character and try to remember, or try to figure out what each character is, reference your notes. You're just gonna have to have it, you know what I mean, memorized, which is not a hard thing to do, but you just got to put in that work. But next week we're gonna kind of go through each of these characters and try to make those tedious distinctions so that we could get more comfortable with reading. But I mean, with that, we'll say Imadium, which means to stand. We'll give a courtesy salute to the brothers of Israel, Madra Shabbat, Imadium, Barak, Yahweh Shem Yahushua Brakathum, Yadi Matah. Sorry, we're going to turn and face the sisters, give a courtesy salute to the sisters. Individual reminder Shabbat. Imadium, Barak, Yahweh Shamar Latam Bashim Yahweh Shai. Yadi Matah. Dismissed.